Hello, I'm Chai Hofilenia. Today we will be talking to Baste Duterte, the youngest son of Rodrigo Duterte, who is currently the frontrunner in the presidential race. We will be holding elections on Monday, May 9, and there's really just a few days left. Thank you for joining us, Baste. First of all, I'd like to ask you about how it has been on the campaign trail. They say that you're a very shy person, but you've managed to join your father on the campaign trail. Why? How has it been?
Well, yeah, that's true. I'm shy indeed, but alam niyo na, talagang I just felt the need to speak out because I take myself as an ordinary Filipino citizen. And you know, I feel what the common Filipino feels. So,
How is it like to be the son of Rodrigo Duterte? Because he's usually depicted as a tough man, somebody who says papatayin ko kayo, and people imagine that he's a disciplinarian as a father. How is your relationship with him? As a father, how was he when you were growing up?
it was normal. You know, when I get home, he tells me to study and sleep early. You know, those kinds of things. Like, hindi naman talang the type of person that he is on camera or dun sa valley. Hindi naman talaga ganun yung ano. Na ganun lang. Pagka may kasalanan, then we get punished. It's yeah.
What kind of punishment?
You know, the 90s kids, sinusuntok, you know, ganun. Mm. Pag may kasalanan lang naman.
You're the
But it's
young.
really strict, huh?
Yeah. You're the youngest. Ikaw ba yung the favorite also of all?
That's what people say. I don't know. I don't know. I can't really tell.
He's also projected himself as a man who lives a very, very simple life. Did he try to impose those standards also on you, and was it difficult for you? Has it been difficult for you?
Yes, it's very simple. And when I was younger, every time when some people complain, you know, medyo sometimes, you know, pag may ginawa ako na medyo di nagugustuhan ng tao, tapos umabot sa kanya, sinasabihan niya ako na mayabang ako. Don't do that because it's not because he's in public service, but you know, he wants me to be the way that he is also because he's my father.
He wasn't medyo hesitant siya to run initially for president. What was your stand then? Did you want him to run? Did you prefer that he stayed in Davao and just be mayor?
I did not want him to run. Ayaw ko talaga kasi well, masaya na masaya manalo. The same thing for me. You know, wala namang, I don't know, we just, masaya na kami with our, you know, the love of our family and friends in Davao. Ayun lang. So, yeah.
But he decided to run. Did you express support for him? Did he ask you to support him?
No, yung, when we run, yes, natawa na lang ako kasi tumakbo talaga eh. Uh, yung mga volunteers kasi, because I attended his first sortie out of Mindanao sa Tagaytay, nangyari nun, nakilala ko yung some of the volunteers. So I couldn't just refuse them because they asked me to help my dad. O papa. Yeah. They told me to if I could help him. So sinabi ko, of course, yes. Kasi parang nahiya na rin ako. He's my father. And ito yung mga tao na tumutulong sa kanya out of, you know, pure volunteerism. And they spend their own money. So I just had to.
Do you think he'll make a good president?
Yes, of course.
But he will have to be away from Davao and spend more time in Manila if ever he does win.
I think so.
On the campaign trail, what did you learn or what did you notice about his supporters? Because from here, what we've seen is wherever he goes, malaki lagi yung crowd. He has a very, very strong following. Did you get the chance to speak with these followers and supporters?
Yes, towards the end of the campaign, yung may recent sorties, kasi wala na yung the places that we go to, alam na nilang hindi na mapupuntahan ng tatay ko. So, may mga girls din kami na noon na medyo malaki rin, ang dami. Ganun yung, kahit ako lang na pupunta, they would show up na ganun karami.
How would you explain the big crowds and yung parang it's also phenomenal in a sense, no? Because he is a mayor from Davao, was only a congressman, and then now suddenly running for president, and he's number one.
Well, like I said, it's really unexpected. I did not expect it. The crowd, kasi nga, like you said, we're just from Davao. Nobody really knew about my father before the campaign. So, seeing all those people, I think they really know that it's standing up for those people that are attending.
Did you expect the level of negative campaigning that has occurred in the last few days? See, Senator Trillanes has made a lot of allegations. No, there's hidden wealth, supposedly unaccounted for, huge amounts of money in bank accounts, and then your properties of the children, supposedly. Is there any truth to these allegations?
First, I did not expect that. No, I expected that because I can see on social media from the start of the campaign that they've been doing a lot of demolition jobs. Mm-hmm. And about properties, one that came out about San Juan, I felt it in when I was in high school. But what I know is that my mom bought it for me. So that's it. I couldn't afford by myself, as no one told me when I was in high school. So it was just my thing. I think it's practical because my mom should put it in my name because I'm gonna be the one to inherit it eventually.
But this was not declared now in his statement of assets, liabilities, and net worth.
That I don't know, but I think it's my mom, so I really don't have any idea.
Okay. Are there other properties in Davao that, because that is also one of the allegations of Senator Trillanes, that you, the children, also have all these properties over there?
So, totoo lang, hindi ko alam talaga. Hindi ko alam. Kasi, pero ako, kung nakatira ko, before the apartment, now I'm living in the house, in front of my father's house, that's almost same sa locals housing. So, kung nandun man yung mga properties na yan, it's useless. Kung hindi ko man lang ginamit, that's me a copy. But I don't know. My group will never get to talk.
So do you see all this as just black propaganda?
Yes, definitely, yes. The people of Davao can speak for me. They're there, and that's it. It's black propaganda.
There's also talk about because nga yung image ng father mo is that he's a tough guy and he will kill criminals and drug addicts and all that. And therefore, he will be a threat to democracy. Do you agree with that?
Of course, I do not agree with that. It's not a vigilante kind of justice. It's he uses the law every time. Every time, because they always hear of extrajudicial killings in Davao. But in fact, it's not. It started in Davao before, my father's opponents in politics, that they made that story and literally, yun yung parang naging myth ng Davao, but it's not true. Mm-hmm. So it's the police enforcers who are, doing this. They're with the law and they're on, my dad is only implementing. Pagka kasi naman yung mga police na yan, they don't want to be, they want to get killed, you know? They have to, lalaban dapat sila. They have to protect themselves.
So how do you, is all of these negative stories, negative allegations against your father, is it affecting you and the family?
Not really. Kasi, from the time I was born, yung tatay ko nasa politics na yan. So, sanay na ako.
Paano kung manalo siya and he goes to Malacanang? Will the three of you and the youngest one, the girl, the little girl, join him in Malacanang? Paano yung hati nyo?
Tama na ako, ayaw ko mga kanya. May traffic na kami na.
So maiiwan siyang mag-isa.
Ako.
How about the ties with si Pastor Kiboloy? Are you also very close to him?
I'm not to 4 times. My entire lifetime. I don't really know the guy. Pero sinalo ko, sama ko minsan, birthday na, ganun lang.
What kind of a president will your father be if he wins?
A radical president. So it make things happen. You know, when he said something, he wanted to get done. That's thinking about. When he implements law, ordinance, talaga masusunod talaga. Tomorrow,
Pero realistic ba yon? Like, he's been saying on the campaign trail that he will try to suppress crime in 3 to 6 months. Hindi ba kayo natatakot that he's also creating very high expectations?
No. Kasi the way that I know my father, the way that I see him work, talaga, kita na namin yan. I think mayroon support niya support niya. Hindi naman kaya naman sasabihin niya. Para namin just to get votes. I think that's, hindi siya natin tao. When he says something, he's going to do it. Going to prove himself.
But the fear nga is if he fails to do it because this is now ruling over a country and not just a big city, then and the expectations are not met, then people can become very, very disappointed.
So ready to step down. Kung hindi niya nagawa yan, bababa yan. Kung ayaw ko na sa personal because if he cannot fulfill his promise, then bababa yan.
Hindi siya tatagal ng 6 years?
Hindi mo nga sinasabi basic. Kung dahil ng tao. Isa. Ano yan? Ano ba ang mga problem? Pag tingin niya na parang sinabi niya, he will accept the consequences.
How about his vice president? Kung sakaling manalo nga siya, will he work better? Kasi mukhang if you look at the latest survey results, si Alan Cayetano has not been doing very well. And mukhang si Bongbong or Lenny might become vice president, one of them. Will he be able to work with either of the two? Or mas mahirapan siya working with a woman?
I think it's willing to work with anyone. As long as it's for the people. So it's for the people and they have the willingness, the political will. Yeah.
Because you're a son of a possible president, meron ka bang dreams or aspirations for the country? What would you ask your father if ever he becomes president? What would you want for the country?
Kung mananalo mo siya, president, as of now, I cannot think of any topic na, that back into the Philippines, just on the campaign. But maybe later on when he wins, that's what the Filipinos be happy. I think that's basically it. So that's what happened.
What are your plans on election day, on Monday? Are you voting early? Paano ba? Are you sama-sama ba kayo?
Ako lang, I go to the prison early, then press na. So, nothing really special, it's just voting like anyone else.
Meron ba kayong worst case scenario for Monday? What are you most afraid of?
Yung cheating talaga. Because rumors that circulating social media na may daya ang mangyayari. Maybe, yun lang naman. I hope that doesn't happen.
Yung criticism nung followers of your father is that because they're very, very active on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, and ang daming comments, no, whenever stories are published about him, they're very engaged. Is there a possibility, if you're afraid that cheating could happen, all these people could go out in the streets and protest and stage rallies?
Yes, I hope nga lang na hindi mapupunta sa gano'n. Kasi, hindi ka na private violence ng kasama pollution pa. So, sana, cheat. I think that's very possible. It will happen. Because evident na naging cheating on election day.
How about the ties with the left? Kasi sinasabi he can communicate with Joma Sison, the NPAs, and he can also communicate with the Muslim rebels.
Yung ano naman kasi, just very romantic in that way. It's not yet really fights with them that he goes up and talks to them like that. No, he just goes up and talk to people. Just tayo na lang usapin, no? Tao kung lalapit sa babae. Ganun lang. It's that simple. It's not doesn't have really my type that we were communist or something like that. No. Marunong kami mag-tao. Marunong lang siya mag-usap sa mga tao.
At malapitin siya sa babae.
Maybe. So, yun. Nakausap niya lang. It's so simple. Like meeting someone, then talking to her, asking questions. Simple conversation. You have to pray what you have to say. So it's like that.
You think he's just being misunderstood by the Manila media? Yung humor niya, hindi ba naiintindihan? Is that something that's peculiar or specific to Davao or the Visayans?
Yes. Very specific to us. Yung humor niya kasi, the way he talks, pag nagtatanong siya, it's brings kind of accent. So when he delivers those, the punchline, it's not fit for the some people. But besides in the language, it's funny. It's funny for us. It's a different kind of humor.
And the cursing is part of it.
Yes. Yes. So, bye. But not all. Not all. It's very important. Meron talaga kami yan.
I mentioned this a while ago because nga ito yung latest that's broken on the media that Mar is calling on Grace for a meeting, but wala pang balita nga if the two of them are meeting, and apparently this is an attempt to join forces against your father. What's your reaction to this?
So if never that happens, I think the people in Mar was voting for Mar and voting for Paul. Maybe against my father, or if not, then it would be good. Because some voters will come and that's their own part, so I think I'm there. So good luck. When we have you, let's see what's the last thing. Okay, di naman we're not really like all this what happened, you press people. Just for now, pag natalo we'll continue with our lives.
So it's not going to end if your father, contrary to survey results, if biglang he loses, you can live with it?
Of course. Mas okay na sa akin. tingin ko mga PSP sa akin. Siguro,
Yung preference nyo ba is that he doesn't win and that he just remains in Davao and stays with you?
that's a difficult question. Really don't answer na parang what my lifestyle would change. But, ayaw talaga, ayaw ko yung, even now, I don't want all this attention, what's happening to me. And then, like I was saying, somebody like that, campaign from my father, because it's my father, but I love the guy, people, and I would like, I wanted to defend him over all the people they say, and talk to you, in that, in that, talking. Kasi, we love him as a mayor.
As a mayor and as a father?
Yes, father, of course. Flipping, it's not the part of the Bible.
Maybe just a last question. What was the biggest learning that you got from this experience, being part of the campaign of your father, even if you were hesitant about it? Anything new that you thought of or discovered, either about him or about Filipinos?
One thing I heard, they really love their country. They can be patriotic. They can be patriotic. Because before, I was really involved in politics. Because I thought, yung buhay ng Pilipino, nawala yung love purpose. So now, kung nakita ko yung mga tao, they're really patriotic. Sabi, sobra talaga. So, kala ko happy na Filipino student naman, Filipino student na for a better tomorrow. So, kanta natin. Because yung mga supporters naman ng tatay ko, they're the ones who are already satisfied with the government. So, they think about change. They think about change. Yeah.
Is politics a field that you could probably enter in the future?
Talaga. Ngayon lang to, I heard it, you're not going to see me anymore. Really. Ngayon lang to.
Okay. Thank you very much for speaking with us, and good luck on Monday.
Thank you.
We've been speaking with Sebastian Duterte, the son of Rodrigo Duterte. Thank you very much for joining us.